my name is Gloria.dazevedo and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be doing another unboxing haul, I guess, from one of my local yarn stores here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So as you may know, a couple weeks ago it was local yarn store day, and this yarn store in particular is about a 20-minute drive from my house, and it's proclaimed as one of the biggest yarn stores in Canada. So I've been there before many times. They do have a super huge variety of any type of yarn you possibly could want. Wool blends, luxury brands. They have a huge variety of cross-stitching kits, knitting items. I can put their link down below if you want to check out what they have online, and you can always give them a call as well. They do local curbside pickup, and they also do shipping via Canada Post. I guess within Canada or maybe internationally as well. So definitely go check them out if you are interested. So particularly for local yarn store day, I don't know if sales are just slow. It's possible because of the pandemic, but they did advertise that they have a lot of like yarn packs, especially in their new like renovated discount center. So I thought I would go ahead and check it out, see if I could find any good deals from the discount center, because that's how I like to roll. So today I'll share with you what I found. Another disclaimer, I had a gift card from my wonderful mother and sister-in-law, so it definitely subsidized my trip a little bit, and so we'll see what we got. All right, so the first thing, I'll start from the top. I got this cone of kind of unidentified thread. I'm pretty sure it's a cotton thread. This was $2 for this whole cone, and my thought was that I could use it for when I'm creating like lifelines in different projects. You can just cut a long piece of thread, run it through your knitting needle, in case you accidentally make a mistake, and then you can rip back to where that was. But this lifeline essentially holds your stitches for knitting, mainly, and because there's so many like live stitches usually that you need a whole lot of, you wouldn't possibly put a stitch marker in every single stitch like you would for crochet. Crochet, you only have one live stitch at a time. So anyways, this is used to kind of like create save points or checkpoints in your work in case you do need to rip back. Especially since I do a lot of test knitting, I find that it's very helpful in case that the designer has said, oh wait, there's actually an addendum, or please do another repeat. So it's very helpful to have that ability to go back. So this whole cone of thread was $2, which is an amazing amount of thread. The other reason I bought it is because if it's cotton or nylon, either one is fine. Sometimes when you're knitting socks or like slipper socks or something with a lot of wear, not as much on like a sweater, you might want to add what they call like a reinforcement thread, and sometimes it can be wool, it can be cotton, but you just add a little bit extra to your heels and toes because they can rub out very easily. So it kind of tries to help strengthen those sections of your socks so that you don't have to mend them as much or have to unravel the sock and reknit a sock. So that's why I bought this giant cone of unidentified thread for $2. It's not bad. I don't know if I can put it here. I'll try this. We're still figuring out this iPad situation, so we'll see how it works. All right, the next thing is I did buy a few hanks of sock yarn because sock yarn doesn't count for your stash. I saw them putting this out while I was there, so I definitely got first pick, which was great. This was $9.99. These are all Diamond Select Footsie. I don't know if you can see the Diamond Select Footsie, $9.99 a skein. I find that like about $10-ish is like a pretty good deal for like machine-made sock yarn for like 100 grams, because like you need about 100 grams to make a pretty decent sized pair of sock. Like if I make them for myself or for my mother-in-law, I definitely have a lot left over from one 100 gram ball of sock yarn. But if you have like, say a spouse who has like really large feet or something, or if you want to try to make 2 pairs, you probably need a bit more than one as well. So anyways, normally when I buy sock yarn, I try to buy like the funkiest sock yarn with cool designs, with interesting color pooling, just to make sock yarn knitting very like fun. Because if you're just making like a vanilla sock, it's just knit, it can be kind of boring. So it's nice to see progress with the different colors. However, I recently bought 52 weeks of sock knitting. There's a book, I could put a link down below. And most of those sock patterns are very textured. So I find that when I use some of my self-striping sock yarn, you can't see the texture as much because it's all like kind of hidden within the color blocks or any other variegated yarns. You can't see some of the subtle differences in texture, so I thought I would actually branch out, try to buy some solid color sock yarn. So that's why I picked out these 3 colors, which is also all they had. They do have more variety of comfort sock, which I might show you. I bought a bit extra at the bottom of the bag, but I think it's still a great deal. Those are also usually around $9 or $10 in their discount center at Wool Tyme. So if you always need sock yarn, it's like a place to go to check if you have some fun colors and things like that. Another thing that I didn't buy, but I know that they do have, is they have sock yarn packs. So you get 5 different 100-gram balls, and they're usually coordinating color in one yarn pack, so you can't choose the colors. They just choose them for you, and it's $50. So same, like, you know, $10 a ball. So it's not a bad deal if you do need a larger quantity of sock yarn as well. I don't know if they sell them separately for $10 each. Maybe you can go ahead and ask if you are interested in buying more sock yarn, either to make socks for yourself, to make gifts. They also, you know, they are good for like shawls and hats and things like that. I can also link another hat pattern below, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it is a hat made with fingering weight yarn, so it's another way as like a one skein wonder to use up some of these like extra yarn scraps or extra sock yarn leftovers, and also for like those really fun skeins of like indie dyed yarn, for example. If you don't want to make socks out of them, you can make a hat, so it's like a little bit longer wear. So I love these 3 colors. I don't think they have. I could tell you more about it. Yeah, this one's color 2562, blue. I don't know. 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. Even though it's superwash wool, I don't think I would necessarily wash it in the machine. It just helps the yarn last longer. And for woolly yarns, you don't actually need to wash it as often as like commercial, like cotton, like a t-shirt or underwear and things like that. Wool is more naturally like, it's obviously no more natural, but it doesn't like keep odors. It's more odorless. It's not really more odorless, but it doesn't retain odors as much, so you really don't need to wash them unless you maybe have like really sweaty feet or something like that. You don't have to wash them every time you wear them. So that's another way to like keep your handmade socks long lasting as much as possible. So yeah, these are all the same. This color is 2548 and this color is 2535. There's no like regular name. This says it was made in China for diamond yarn. For 3mm knitting needles, or US 2.5, you get about 42 rows and 30 stitches, or 10 centimeters or 4 inches. And the total volume, or total like yardage, is 420 meters or 459 yards. So FYI, if you want to check it out, definitely look on their website and see if there's anything that interests you. So put that there. So I did mention earlier there are a lot of yarn packs, so let's get into some of those. All right, let's do this one. This was obviously $15, and I got 4 skeins of yarn, which I don't know if it's like the best deal. Let me see if I can open it quickly. But the reason I got it was because it was alpaca. It's an alpaca blend wool. So originally it has a price tag of $4.99. And it's $15 for 4, which puts it at like $3.75. So a little bit of a discount from buying it at the original discount price of $4.99. It's actually really soft. Can you tell that I really like purple? I really like purple. It's called Viking Garn Alpaca Storm. This is only a 50-gram ball too, by the way, so it's kind of expensive if you think about it, compared to like, you need 2 of these to be the same weight as this one, and it's about $10. But you get a lot less yardage, but you get alpaca, so you know, you gotta make trade-offs. Anyways, this 50-gram ball is 133 meters. They recommend a 4mm knitting needle, and the gauge is 22 meters or stitches for 4 inches or 10 centimeters, 22 stitches. It says you can machine wash it. I probably wouldn't. It's alpaca. It might felt. This is made in Peru. Color number 569. So this one is 40% superfine alpaca, 40% merino wool, and 20% nylon fiber. So it's mostly fibers, not like natural. Merino wool is usually very soft. Alpaca is extremely soft. This is very soft. I think I only bought one of these, so definitely not enough to make a sweater, but definitely like at least a scarf or like a couple of cows and a hat. I think would be very warm. I love eggplant colored anything, so this is gorgeous to me. I'm excited to use it. I don't have a lot of alpaca accessories or alpaca anything because usually alpaca is extremely expensive. But I do have 4, and at 133, that's like 630 something yards or meters, whatever meters, 630 something meters. Like, probably can't make a sweater. Maybe I can make a t-shirt though. I don't know. We'll see. I think alpaca is very nice. Since it's so soft, I think I would probably want an accessory that's closer to my skin, definitely like a scarf or a cowl. So definitely I will think about what I would make with this. I bought most of this without any idea what I'm going to do with it. But $15 for 4 balls, not the worst deal. Okay, next is, I think this one goes with this one. Okay, this is Patton's London Fog, so another yarn pack. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, this one fell out, for $25. This is $25. This is a side note, but there's another video, I think on my channel, about Spin Right Yarn Factory outlet. So Spin Right does a lot of these big brands of yarns like Patton's, Bernat, Karen, Fentex, I think, as well. Some of the cottons. Wait, I already said Bernat, right? Yeah. They do a lot of these yarns, and there's an outlet in a factory here in Ontario, Canada. So you can actually go on their Facebook page at Spin Right Yarn Factory Outlet, and they usually have big trailer sales occasionally or flash deals. So they have an in-store option in Listowel, Ontario, which is pretty far from here, but they do ship Canada and US as well. So if you have to email them with your orders, you make sure you have your phone number and your mailing address. You can't like pre-look up shipping, but recently when we've done orders, it's about $25 for shipping, and the weight for the shipping is very, very large. Like the first order we did, I think we got like over 30 kilos of yarn, and the shipping was $25. And then the second time we ordered, I think it was like definitely between 10 and 20 kilos, maybe 10-ish, magnitude of 10-ish, and it was still $25. So they said that it depends on the tier of how much you spend. So just keep that in mind. It's still not a bad deal. Outlet deals, if you know exactly what you want or you need a specific color of something, per unit is definitely cheaper than buying it from Walmart or Michael's or anything like that. But you usually have to buy a lot of it, and it helps. And you might get like mill ends instead. You might get like the off brands, but which usually is okay, I find. So anyways, I can try to put a link down below, and then you can check out their site as well. Anyways, back to what we talked about. Oh wait, no, I'm not done with my side story yet. So this outlet, before COVID, before the pandemic, they would have these big tent sales in the summer. I think they would have one in Ontario in the summer, and they would have one in North Carolina, which is another big factory of theirs. I've never gone to any of these, but I hear the deals there are amazing. So I guess when they used to have these tent sales, they would have these big yarn packs similar to this, and this is why there's like this tent sale logo on it. Anyways, they said they're not having a tent sale this year, but actually as of right now, as of filming on Facebook, they have some buy 3 get 1 free deals. I'm calling their trailer sales. So I'll put a link down below, and you can check it out and see if the deals are still on by the time you look. So anyways, I got this yarn pack of Patton's Lincoln Fog, which I have never seen this yarn before until this discount center yarn pack. Somebody had already opened a different yarn pack of this, so I could like feel the yarn. It's very soft, not as soft as alpaca, but pretty soft. It's Lincoln Fog. So this is a 100-gram ball. It has 190 yards or 174 meters. It is 75% acrylic and 25% wool, so it might still felt if you machine wash it, and you're not supposed to. This is made in Turkey. This color is called Wine, and it's a bulky level 5 yarn. So I don't know if you can see. I don't know how people do this, how thick it is. So it's pretty thick, but honestly, like I've seen Aran yarns or some worsted weights yarn that feels more bulky than this. When I think of a bulky yarn, I usually think of something around like for the yardage, it's maybe like 100 to 120 yards for one 100-gram ball, and this is almost 200, 190 yards. So to me, this feels more like a worsted weight still instead of a bulky yarn. But nonetheless, it says for a 5.5 millimeter knitting needle, you have 15 stitches and 19 rows for a 4-inch gauge swatch, and it does have a crochet hook. It's 5.5 millimeter crochet hook for a 10 centimeter crochet. 10 centimeter crochet swatch, 11.5 single crochets to 14 rows on a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook is about 10 centimeters or 4 inches. This one also does actually have a recommended pattern for a knitted hat. It's in the details hat. It uses one ball. It has looks more like a beanie style hat with a bit of cabling or something. So I actually might, depending on what I decide to do with this, I might actually make one. I think it's the same. It's not even the same pattern for all of them. Wow. This one has the hat. This one has a sweater. Hold on, I'm really curious now. This sweater is called the Lacy Edge Knit Pullover. The small up to medium size uses 6 balls. So I actually could make this sweater. I can't really see the picture probably, but I could make a sweater with this amount of yarn. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm very excited about this yarn. I would have probably never bought it at full price, but it was 6 balls for, what did I just say, 25 bucks. So about $4 a ball. Not too bad. It feels a little bit of a roll because you get $4. I could get a 100-gram ball of this versus a 150-gram ball of the alpaca, but that's okay. I noticed that everything is purple. Yes, I bought a lot of purple. Should have practiced that. So this is fun. Putting that aside. Oh, okay, so I did buy 2. Okay, sorry, back to my other thing. I did buy 2 of the alpaca. Maybe past me was a little bit smarter and thought I would make a shirt. So maybe with 400 full grams of this, then I can make a sweater for sure. And then maybe also like a scarf as well. So, haha, past me was smart. Current me is like chaotic. I'm doing my unboxing videos. So I did buy 2. Hopefully I said everything I needed to say. Okay, let's just keep going. Okay, my 3rd yarn pack. So I did buy 2 of these. This is Patton's Classic Wool DK Superwash. Is one of these open? Oh, this one's kind of open. Okay. So, remember my whole spiel with the Spin Right Yarn Factory outlet? Again, this is Patton, so this outlet does sell Pattons. A while ago, they did have a deal for this exact yarn. It was $4 a ball. I bought a lot then too, in purple. And I don't think I did an unboxing about that. Maybe I should do one after this, because why not? That was $4 a ball. I think I bought purple. I bought blue maybe. I thought it was a pretty good deal for like wool. Is still only, this is a 50-gram ball. And then I saw this deal at the discount center is $18 for 6 balls. So it's $3 a ball. What a deal. It's like 25% off additionally, which is great. So I bought 2 packs. So I could definitely make a sweater. And I'll tell you about this wool, Patton's Classic Wool DK Superwash, as I already mentioned. It says it's a light 3, so obviously DK is usually 3. It's a lot thinner than those ones. I think it could possibly be considered a worsted weight depending on what needles you use to gauge swatch, so definitely do your gauge swatch. Sometimes wools and yarns are transferable. That's what I've learned. I think it says you can machine wash it because it's a superwash. I still probably wouldn't because it's wool. In terms of number of stitches for knitting, they say on a 4 millimeter knitting hook, 4 millimeter knitting needle, you can do 22 stitches, 28 rows, and that's a 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter gauge swatch or 4 inches. And for a crochet hook, use a 4 millimeter crochet hook, 17 single crochets and 20 rows is approximately a 10 centimeter square. This color specifically is called dark gray heather. It is very dark gray heather. It says 100% pure new wool. 50 grams is approximately 114 meters or 125 yards. So I think it's I think it's a better deal when it's $3 a ball versus $4 a ball, but it's not the worst for like 100% wool yarns. If you watch my other Briggs and Little haul from Wool Trends, if you price it out, it's approximately $5.50 for a little more than 2 of these. So maybe if you want to round up, maybe it's between $2.50 and $3 for 50 grams. So it's a little bit cheaper than this one still, but those ones aren't superwash, so you kind of have to make some pros and cons, make some decisions. This one's also a DK weight compared to most of the other yarns I showed in that video were like worsted, Iran bulky, and a bit of fingering. So it definitely depends on your project and what you can use as well. Yeah, so I assume that for each pack, I think each dye lot, yeah, they look the same. At least within the pack, and then I don't know if both of the packs have the same dye lot together, but for sure there should be enough. There's 12 balls, so that's like a lot. Definitely for a small size sweater, I don't anticipate using more than like 1 of these. Like I recently did another sweater and I used about 300 grams of yarn, so not a lot. Obviously, if you're a larger size, you're going to need more yarn. I found that this yarn was a great deal at the discount center, so I don't know if they will actually, I mean, I guess you can call Wool Tyme to see if they will ship the discount yarn bags, but I have picked it up in store, obviously, so something to think about. All right, we're almost at the end. Oh, we're not. We're almost at the end. Okay, so I mentioned earlier there's the Comfort sock wool. So this is one of those, as you can see, it's $15. I guess this is a 10 sale item. So $15 for two whole sock yarns. So this is 200 grams of sock yarn. So if you price it out, divide by 2 is $7.50. Pretty good deal. That's why I bought it. I don't know if I'm crazy about the color. It's kind of like boyish color, safari colored. So I haven't decided if I actually make socks out of these, but since it's a little bit more, I got 2 of the same skeins. I was thinking I potentially could make like a lighter sweater for my son, Kirk. He's a toddler right now, so he obviously is not very big. I can definitely make some items with him with less yarn. So there is the Flax Sweater Light by Tin Can Knits. That is a sweater, top-down raglan, and you can use fingering weight for that. I think for certain sizes, you only need like 1 skein of sock yarn, which is even better. For other ones, maybe you need 2. He's getting bigger, so I'd obviously make the size up for him. So that's something to consider. Or I can make a bunch of socks, which is fine. I mean, I feel like even if you have 2 of the same pairs of socks, it's no big deal. You can mix and match. No, nothing to do about it. Or you can make one for yourself, and you can make one to gift. So a lot of opportunities for 2 of the same. I can give you more information about it. This is Comfort Wool sock yarn. 100 grams has about 420 meters, which is the same yardage as this one. But this one is variegated. I have used this type of sock yarn before. It's not just self-striping. It does have like different patterns in between, so it does keep it interesting. But yeah, had to pick it up. $7.50 per ball is a great deal. Okay, now I think we're almost at the end. So this is it. These last 3 balls are the end. This is an empty bag over here. And, okay, sorry, my sock got caught on something. These I found in a random bin. They had a bin of, I guess maybe it's like if you have 1 extra or something, you're not gonna be able to sell it with the other ones because there's not enough of 1 colorway, things like that. You can't make a sweater party. So I just picked up all these random balls. I think these were each $2.99. These 2 are the same, these 2 red ones. Let's talk about them. This says it's Trekking Sport, and it kind of looks like a sock yarn. I think it's a sock yarn, so that's why I bought it. 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide. This is only a 50-gram ball, so 210 meters. It says it's 25% nylon. Nylon is the polyamide, I guess, and then 210 meters. So together, these 2 would be one of these. Each of these balls was $2.99, I think I mentioned. Made in Germany. Let's see what else is interesting about it. It's the same dye lot, same color. It says you can machine wash it. And size 2 to 3 millimeter knitting needle. This one is a little bit weirdly fuzzy. I think it's because it's in a bin with a bunch of other random stuff, so there's like a lot of fuzz on it, which is fine. I mean, I don't know, you block it and you wash it, so life goes on. So again, what I mentioned earlier with the sock yarn, I wanted to do more solid color sock yarn so I could do more textured socks. So that's why I picked up these ones. Also, it's a great deal. It's even cheaper than my $7.50 per sock yarn, $7.50 per pair deal over here. This is only $6. And it's red. I like red too. It's a nice jewel tone. The other thing I like sometimes with 50-gram balls is you don't need to worry about splitting your skein. So like if you knit socks 2 at a time, which I sometimes do, then if you have 2 different balls, you can just pull from each ball separately and you know that they're the same. Versus sometimes if you do 1 at a time socks, you have to worry like, am I making it too long? Have I exceeded 50 grams? So otherwise there won't be enough yarn for the other sock. And then the other issue is sometimes if you have 1 skein and you want to do 2 at a time, you have to do 1 from each end of the ball of yarn, which can be like, I find that it tangles really easily because it twists on itself. So sometimes having 2 balls is very convenient for 2 at a time socks. And then finally, this one poor orphaned yarn is also $2.99. This says it's a DK, it says, the label's covering it, but it's called Matchmaker Double Knitting. It says you can machine wash it on wool cycle and iron it, I guess. I don't know. I can't actually read all the specs because there's a lot of tags on this. Let's see, it says for a 4mm knitting needle, you can do 22 stitches to 10 centimeters, but I can't read the number of rows because there's a sticker covering it, so I can't read it. It says it's 100% pure wool, 50 grams, as 120 meters or 131 yards, so it's about a DK weight. I think I bought it because I was thinking about color work, because it's a pretty nice blue. Like, it's not a bad jewel tone. It does go well with this, even though it's not the same gauge or anything. But it's not bad. I mean, I guess you could put it with this one too. Nice hole. I'm just improvising here. Like, these two together wouldn't be so bad for like a hat, maybe a small cowl, like a very close fit to your cowl, and they're both wool. So at least you can care them the same way. You don't have to, as long as you remember that they're both wool, you can do the same thing. You wouldn't accidentally wash it because you thought it was acrylic and then like the other wool part fell, and then you get into like really complex carrying instructions. So this was only $2.99 wool. So I was like, okay, I'll just bring it home, feed my stash. Good for color work, good for very small projects. So thought I'd give it a shot. So yeah. This was my haul. I think the total, if you're keeping track, it was approximately $150 Canadian plus tax, minus my gift card. So overall, not too shabby. Another thing, one last thing about Tyme is they have this like loyalty card, which obviously I don't have it right now because I didn't think about that. And you get stamps every time you spend $20, increments of $20 before tax. And then when you get a certain number of stamps, you get 15% off your next purchase or whatever purchase you feel like, 15% off regular price items. There's no limit, they say. I don't know, maybe there's a limit. 15% off, but it's regular price only, so it wouldn't apply to the discount center. So if you're primarily a discount center shopper like myself, it might not be that helpful to you, but you never know. It could be still useful for gifts. It could be useful if you need tools. They have a wide variety of tools as well. I think they do sell patterns, so maybe you can ask them if patterns are applicable. I actually don't know. I didn't ask. So yeah, it's a very big yarn store. I spent a lot of time in there. I'm sure if you visit there, you will too. Highly recommend it. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about this haul. I mean, let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. And I'll hopefully remember to post all those links that I mentioned in this video. And yeah, have a great day. See you next time.